Hi, I'm Kim, and I'm here to tell you about an exciting Kickstarter to fund new art. A journal to help change Australia's art landscapes. New Art is a soon-to-be published journal hoping to break down some of the barriers that newly qualified and non-traditional artists face in trying to get their work represented in the Australian art scene. The collective vision of New Art is to create a cooperative business structure which will allow us to create a journal separate from the pre-existing profit-driven magazines available on the market. We aim to create a new publishing model distinct from the old mainstream print houses and the magazine sales in Australia and the wider art scene. We see new art in both digital space, but more importantly in a physical print form, comprising of research articles, exhibition reviews and details, and artist statements on new works, all created by and for emerging artists. We know from the various art movements that precede us around the world that a pivotal part of gaining acceptance is being able to publish works, research, interviews and information about upcoming artists. New Art's basis is widening access to formal journal environments, with editions being put over to explore specific topics, different art media, and artists of marginalised and underrepresented communities. As artists, we understand the issues new artists face in both having the public see their art, but also in terms of changing the response of the wider Australian public to the Australian art scene. We understand the obvious gap in Australian art publications, which show from the very limited production and distributions of materials within Australia. As shown in the highly varied success of artists out of a traditional university route, we understand the lack of provision for new and emerging artists, especially those of non-traditional art backgrounds. This is especially seen when it comes to the otherness of participants within the art world. We understand just how hard it is to make art whilst trying to make ends meet. We know how hard it is to get the support you need to create art. We can see the change that needs to happen that can make emerging artists more accessible, not only among ourselves, but to a wider audience. And that can only help break down the rhetoric of dismissal artists face trying to justify their work, and only in working together can we change the future of Australia's art scene. Currently, we have a startup in development and we are looking for money to help fund 4 editions for the first year's publication of the journal via Kickstarter. It's only with your support that we will see a change in the Australian art scene and make a fairer and more equitable landscape for all. Please support us via Kickstarter, share our social media posts and tell everyone you can about this important work.